creative drive. In my memory, that's the day the sun didn't shine. That was a bar in a song I did. And Tone produced it. It was I just told a story about, what happened when I went to college at A&T, I'm gonna link the song. I'm gonna link the song. I'm gonna upload it. The song called I originally called it Decisions Are Forever, and then I made a kind of took things out of my vault, kind of dropped a little anthology of songs I recorded over the years called that Decisions Are Forever. And right now I'm working on an album called The Day the Sun Didn't Shine, which came from that line from that song. The first album I ever made was called Setbacks to Come Ups. And then that one morphed into Blind Ambition. And Blind Ambition is the first album I actually pressed up. My, a solo album that actually pressed up, and sold out the whip, and, put out there and made money off of. So I had the thought, being 44 and actually understanding more of what Blind Ambition is. Because I made Blind Ambition when I was when I was blind. I was blind as hell. I didn't really have the perspective I have now. So I was like, what? I'm going to make Blind Ambition now from this perspective, from seeing the whole arc of it, And I was thinking, and I was like, man, and the concept would be, the ups and downs, what happens on the way when you're trying to pursue something blindly, without the wisdom to fully execute and strategize correctly. You know what I mean? It's like, okay. And I started thinking about it. It's like, okay. Blind Ambition, okay, you've heard the term, but I felt like it's not compelling enough to make people want to hear it just based on the title, I started thinking, it's like, then I listened to that song, and then that line came up. In my memories, that's the day the sun didn't shine. And it was about when I had to call my parents. In college, I got arrested for selling weed at my college dorm. You know what I mean? I had to call them from the Greensboro County Jail. And like I said, in my memories, that's the day the sun didn't shine. And I take on multiple meanings, right? But for the actual album, it's taking on another meaning. You know what I mean? Because it's like, there was a day my dad asked me. He called me. We was all chilling. Me, him, and my brother. He said, Bob, what you want to do when you grow up? Now, mind you, I've been DJing since I was 12, and I have been making mixtapes, doing all this. I mean, since I was super young. Since I could work on a radio, you know what I mean? I was doing stuff, turntables, making beats since a little kid, before I started actually officially DJing. So I've been around stereo equipment my whole life. One of the earliest pictures I remember is me with some headphones on next to his stereo. His stereo system was crazy back in the day. You know what I mean? He had a sign that said, if you value your life as much as I value my stereo, keep your hands off. Like, this guy, he always had the latest things. And we lived in Japan, Okinawa. So, technologically, they had it. You know what I mean? Like, all the crazy sound systems. He had a chair that was a speaker before that was even a thing. Like, we had all type of equipment. So he say, what you want to be? What you want to do? I said, yo, I want to build and design DJ equipment and stereo equipment. And I'm saying it like broad-eyed, like, yo, he probably gonna love this idea because that was his thing. So he just looks and he starts laughing. He says, ha, 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 ha. And he looks at my brother, James. Bob said he wants to design DJ equipment. Ha, ha, ha. So they just started. Now James starts laughing. Mind you, I don't know, 15 years old, maybe. I don't know, 15, 16. My brother, probably 8th grade, you know what I mean? He was either 8th or 9th, and I was probably 10th, 11th, something in that time frame. And, brother, straight laughed at me to the point to where I totally, I felt like ashamed. I felt like a dummy because, that's your pops, that's a dude you look up to. This is a guy that's, that is the reason that I'm doing this in the first place. You feel me? He even got me my first turntable. So it was crazy to me. So I just, at that moment, that dream just died in that moment. You know what I mean? And I never thought about it again for years, man. Maybe 15, 20 years. I put that shit so far in the back of my subconscious mind, and that day put me on a different path. So it's like, for me, like the origin of the sun, the day the sun didn't shine, is that moment, yo. That moment is why I'm making this album right now. Because in my memory, that's the day the sun didn't shine. Yeah. Peace. So I'm gonna put that song on there, Decisions Are Forever, and check it out. We on all streaming. Feel Black. There's 3 albums on streaming. It's The Longest Breakup, Mantras, and Decisions Are Forever. And chronologically, from when I actually made the music, the songs on Decisions Are Forever, I made those in my 20s and 30s. 20s and early 30s. Then I made The Longest Breakup. And then I made Mantras. So, check it out.